What is this? Oh, okay, so a hamster. Oh, that's pretty dope. Hamster's running on the wheel, gives him some light. Ah, that's creative. Honestly, that's really smart. But I have to ask, what happens? What happens when the hamster gets tired? Like, what happens when like you need light, but the hamster's huffing and puffing? He's like, "Move faster, rodent! I'm only on page 709 of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Move faster! I need to know what happens to Harry Potter!" What's going on, guys? I am the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera, and finally, we are back with Extreme Reactions, where I watch my fellow cheapskates do their things, show off their cheap life hacks, we try out some of them, we judge other things, and we determine whether they make sense or they don't really make any sense at all. So today we're looking at Michael. Michael seems like a little bit of a techie guy. He likes to make his own inventions and creations to help build for a cheaper lifestyle. Let's see what he's all about.
40-year-old IT worker Michael McSurley spends his time inventing new ways to cut costs.
See, I think that's pretty cool. Right off the bat, it shows that he's building different things. I'm curious to see exactly what he builds. We already saw his rodent and a wheel contraption to give himself some light. Let's see what else he's got up his sleeve.
So far, his creations have reduced his monthly spending down to under $1,000.
Hey, that's pretty cool. I mean, if you could just like build things, or I'm sure he probably recycles a lot of things. Like, oh, I shouldn't throw this away. Maybe I can make this invention out of it to provide myself with the cheaper lifestyle, but I still don't know how. So let's see exactly what he does.
One little thing, a little discovery that I've made, way to save on coffee. I enjoy my coffee in the morning.
He says he enjoys his coffee in the morning, as do I. One thing, if you don't know this about me, I love coffee. It's kind of, might be a little bit of an addiction, just a little bit of an addiction, but I do love coffee, especially in the morning. It really gets me going, and it's one of those things that I feel like I just need it. Sounds like an addiction.
I have made my own little coffee device out of an old sock.
All right. All right. So Michael, oh man. All right. Okay. He's got an old sock. It looks like something tied around it on a cup. And I see a little cup of coffee grinds. I'm assuming he's going to put the coffee grinds into the sock and probably put like hot water on it to strain it right through. Let's see if I'm correct.
A cup and a twisty tie. So I go over to my water, which I've boiled in a pan that's multi-purpose, and I pour it into...
Yeah, I was right. Oh, okay, before I comment on it, let's see what else he does next. Let's see what he does next. All right, Michael.
The coffee grounds through the sock, and the sock becomes the filter.
Oh! That's an old sock. That's a really old sock. Oh, man. Ooh, I like the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, he has the really old, beat-up looking Starbucks cup. He's probably used that like 1,000 times. Oh, okay. Let me finish this clip, and then I'll give you guys my opinion here.
I conserve. I save, dollars a week.
First of all, he doesn't look like he's really enjoying that coffee all that much. But I think Michael might be onto something, and I think this is going to be the first cheap hack of Michael's that we're going to try right now. All right, ladies and gents, it's time to try this coffee hack, but don't mind the way I'm dressed or my appearance. It's early in the morning. I have to have coffee early in the morning. So we're going to try what Michael does. We need 4 things here. Well, maybe 5. We need coffee, obviously, a cup, an old sock. Now, this is a really old sock. And a rubber band or a hair tie. Sugar Mama let me borrow a hair tie, so we're gonna see if that works out. And like I said, don't judge me on my clothing option. Actually, you can't judge me. This is AJ Styles right here. All right, so we have the water getting nice and piping hot. Let's prep otherwise. Now time for the coffee. Now you see I have a little hole in my sock, which could be an issue, but I kind of have it, you know, up here, so at least it won't interfere with the process. I'm going to give this coffee a little bit of time to kind of soak through the sock. Well, that sounds terrible, right? Soak through the sock, and then we'll let it cool off, and I'll give it a try. Fingers crossed, right?
A few minutes later.
All right, so this is pretty crazy. I took off the sock, and I have to show you guys what this looks like, because to be honest, I'm pretty impressed. Take a look. This is just by looks. We haven't tasted it yet. Looks pretty legit, right? Looks pretty legit. Now, this was like some sort of mocha coffee, I don't know. But I had found some grounds, and I was like, all right, let's just use this. But it looks pretty good. Smells pretty good. It is now time for the moment of truth. I added a little bit of milk to the coffee. We're going to try it out right now and see if Michael is onto something or if he's completely whacked out. Here we go. Cheers. Honestly, it tastes like coffee. It tastes like coffee. You know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, Matt, it's from an old sock. So that's a little, that makes me enjoy it a little bit less. But it doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste like old sock. You would think it would, but it doesn't. So this might not be for me, might not be for you, but for Michael, I'm not gonna slander you, man. This is your thing. More power to you, brother. Keep it up, and yeah, I'm not gonna knock this cheap hack. Cheers once again.
You can pay anywhere from $20 to $50 for shelving, so I'm gonna save that using milk crates, which are a few dollars a piece.
All right, you know, the milk crate idea, it's not a bad idea. Honestly, like, if you can get them for cheap, I hear what he's saying about shelving. I have an opinion on this. You know what, I'll share it right now. So my opinion on it is, it doesn't look that great. I feel like you could get crates that maybe match your room a little bit better. Maybe black crates. But, you know, I don't know. And I wouldn't set them up this way. Like, I just feel like I would set them up a little nicer. Maybe I'd lay them out on the floor or flip them the other direction. So it's like you're putting it in, like almost like a drawer, as opposed to putting the whole back flat on there. I think great idea, A for effort, but the execution, a little poor.
And cable ties, which are practically nothing.
Okay.
This looks cheesy. However.
Okay, so he acknowledges it.
Acknowledge me.
But let's see what he has to say about it. However, ...
Version 1.0, version 2.0 is going to look like a gym.
Okay, so here's where I got to give Michael some credit here. He acknowledges that it doesn't look as good as it should, and it's only version 1, but there will be a version 2. So there are improvements to be made. There are improvements to be made, so I'm not going to knock Michael on this one.
Michael refuses to throw away anything that he might be able to construct into a money-saving contraption.
Okay, now since he's somebody who's good with his hands, obviously he likes to build things. He's kind of like a techie guy. It makes sense that he does this. It makes sense that he collects things. He likes to recycle, reuse. For me, what I do with things that I'm like, oh, you know, I have no need for this anymore. This is something that works for me. So Michael and I are different when it comes to this as a cheapskate. I love selling things on eBay. eBay, I'm all about it. There's also some apps that I used to use, which I don't use as often anymore, but eBay and Amazon, I will sell things, so much stuff. Video games, it could be ink cartridges, a whole bunch of things. People will buy stuff. There's people like Michael who would probably be like, ooh, I can use that to create, you know, a gadget of some sort to help save money. So people will buy things if you try to sell it. So that's my suggestion to you guys. If you want to be a little cheaper and save a little extra dough, try selling things on the internet. I recommend it highly.
This is my box of stuff that I think I can reuse.
Nope. Okay. What is that? Michael? What is that? What is that, Michael? Nobody needs to see all that, Michael.
This is basically a prototype. This definitely is not a finished product by any means.
Okay.
But this is a utility belt that I thought I could use, you know, working in the garage or under the house.
A utility belt. What is it? It's hard for me to tell what it's made out of. Let's see. But he says he built it from scratch. It's a utility belt.
Put it on as so, and then put your tools, and it is made entirely of duct tape.
You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, I really can't knock them because it looks like it's completely made out of tape. And I've had some uses for tape in the past, as you guys know. My history. So I really can't knock it. He says it's for tools, so I'm curious. Is that strong enough to hold like a hammer? I don't know.
I developed a method with rubber bands to keep my soap levitated off of that water. It lets it dry.
That's genius. That is the most genius. Yo. Oh my gosh, that is the most genius thing I've ever seen on this show ever. Like, more so than anything I've ever done. I mean, come on, you guys. If you use bar soap, that's always a problem. Like, you put it in a little dish or, on whatever, and the bottom gets all wet and you waste so much soap. Oh, this just blew my mind. So Michael, he just, we're going to have to try this. We're going to have to try this right now. So after I saw the soap hack where Michael put the rubber bands around the levitating shelf, I thought that was so smart. I mean, you saw, I was really excited. Genius idea by Michael. Unfortunately, the way my bathroom is set up here, let's see if I can spin this camera around. The shelves are just really not built for that. Like, this is where I keep my soap, right here, on this little thing. Rubber bands aren't going to help that. They wouldn't help if they were up here either. So, unfortunately, I don't get to take advantage of this really cool, cheap hack by Michael, but oh well, what can you do, right?
It prevents mildew, and my soap lasts double the amount of time it would normally last.
I'm so impressed by that one. I am so impressed by this cheap hack. Oh my, how have I never thought of that?
I'm probably saving between $80 and $100 a year just on soap alone. A way I save my water bill is I actually save my water after my showers.
You see, Michael, you had me. You had me in the palm of your hand. But now this. Why does every cheapskate, almost every cheapskate, use their shower water for other purposes? That's just, what are you reusing it for?
Scoop it out, take it to where I need to use it, other places in the house, including, washing the dishes once a week, including doing the laundry.
Nope. You see, nope. No, bro. You don't use your booty water. You don't use your booty water. We're gonna make that a thing now. Hashtag booty water. You don't hashtag booty water. You don't use your booty water to clean the dishes. You don't use your booty water to clean the laundry. You just don't do it. Michael, you had me, man. You had me. I
think it's kind of gross.
Yeah, I think it's kind of gross too, Ma. I think it's kind of gross too.
This is my rainwater collection here. I'm collecting all this water, and it's free water, which is free money.
Okay, I agree with that. Obviously you can't control when it's going to rain, so there's that factor of you can't do it all of the time. But luckily for me, there is rain in the forecast, so we're going to try this cheap hack right now. I was beyond stoked to see that rain was in the forecast and I can perform this awesome cheap hack for you guys. Now, this was actually filmed before I made the coffee. What happened was last night I decided, you know what, it's going to rain. Let me put a pot out there, a cup, and a couple of other things to try to catch some of that rain and make a cup of coffee out of it for you guys to see. Now, it was like killing two birds in one stone. So I went in the back, I collected the rainwater, but admittingly, I wish I woke up just a little bit earlier because what happened was some of that water evaporated, which really sucked because I was trying to get as much as possible. But luckily, I was able to get just slightly more than 8 ounces, which means it was enough to make a small cup of coffee. Now, this is a great hack. It really is awesome.
This is going to be a rainwater collector that I'm going to use as a shower, as a dishwasher, water my plants, and the whole goal of this is to reduce my water bill as close to zero as possible.
Okay, I mean, I'm not mad at that. You can definitely use rainwater, and it takes a little time, effort, but it's smart.
There's been some times where I've gone over to my parents' house to look for parts for for an invention.
But let's see where he goes with this.
Why are you going through our trash?
All this I'm probably gonna take with me anyway.
I don't really see the problem with it. I don't at all. He's just recycling and reusing, right? Which are things that people say we should do anyway. So kudos to Michael.
Well, you're welcome to anything that we don't need.
I'm probably gonna use this in my projects.
Well, we'll definitely be over to see this invention of yours.
All right, so he's creating some sort of an invention. We'll have to keep watching and see what this invention is.
See what you've done with my hose.
Dad has jokes. He said, "Look what you've done with my hose." And obviously he means a garden hose, but that was just a funny joke to me. Dad's a comedian.
Got it split off right here. One is going to the sink.
Okay.
And one
here's
is
his
going
whole
to the
contraption
washing
here.
machine in there. I'm gonna be.
What if it doesn't rain? What are you gonna do?
That expression was priceless. I don't know, Ma. What am I gonna do? So, okay, we're nearing the end of this video, and Michael has built this contraption to bring the rainwater into the house and use it to wash his dishes, to fill up a shower, I believe, and also to do the laundry. It's a great idea. It takes a lot of time. And to answer his mom's question, she wants to know what happens if it doesn't rain. He's going to use his booty water. Hashtag booty water. Now this video continues. Michael shows his parents exactly how he built this creation and how it works. And it seems to really work pretty well. It's impressive, I have to say. As we near the end of this video, we have to ask the question. Michael, as a cheapskate, does he make no sense, a little bit of sense, some sense, or quite a bit of sense, I should say, or a lot of sense? So, drum roll, please. For the first time ever in extreme reaction history, I'm going to give Michael 4 pennies. That's right, 4 pennies, because I think he makes a lot of sense. And you might be thinking, man, that's crazy. 4 pennies, he makes a lot of sense. Let me tell you why. The coffee idea, it wasn't a bad idea. The rainwater idea, yeah, why not collect rainwater? That's genius! Don't even get me started on the soap idea. I think that's the smartest thing I've even seen on TV, period. So, Michael, you've earned yourself first time in extreme reaction history, 4 pennies. Bro, you make a lot of sense. You make cheapskates like me proud. I am the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera, and this was another episode of Extreme Reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll try to make sure the next one isn't, too far from now. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Ring-a-ding that bell. All those good things. And I'll see you guys real soon. It's time to make change. Peace!
You know I've got to give a special shout out to the Frugal Faction. Are you ready for the cheap wrestler to return to the ring? Then you've got to get the latest gear. I've partnered with Redbubble to bring you guys the dopest merch, including a brand new line of Time to Make Change shirts, masks, cell phone cases, backpacks. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And these all come in classic cheap wrestler graphics too. Don't be second rate. Get your merch today. Click that link in the description. Let's go. Penny figure thoughts ain't worth the price. When the rent this high, knock out your lights. Proving in seconds, oozing electric. Feels like glass. School is in session. Saved by the bell, yeah, I'm on fire, blazing in hell. Save your career, rather save on a sale. Stuck by hot bars, making no bail. I cashed in, attraction. Numero uno, action brutal, faction frugal. I'm the your matches doodle.